All right, M0 Nation, I am flying into the Ocala Airport, and the wind is a-blowing here. We're landing runway 18. Let's listen to it.
Via Firecraft, advise ground control direction of flight. Advise on initial contact that you have received. ATIS information, India. Ocala Tower, ATIS information, India, time 1751 Zulu, wind 22016, gust 24.
22016, gust 24. I'll ask for a wind check when I get out on final. He asked me to report a 2 miles out for a right downwind for 18. Realizing the winds are coming from 220, I have a tailwind right now, how I'm coming in from the west. I'm going to turn my downwind a little bit earlier than I normally would. And 23 Mike Zulu is turning that about a 2 mile right downwind.
November 23 Mike Zulu, runway 18, clear to land. Wind 240 at 12, gusting 22.
Thank you, 18, clear to land, 23 Mike Zulu. So it dropped a little bit, only gusting to 22 now, right? Not as bad. All right. We're going to breeze through this quickly here with that wind kind of pushing us. I'll be my touchdown point, carburetor heat, power back. I'm just going to go 10 degrees of flaps, and I'm probably going to just land with 10 degrees of flaps. So often in these gusty conditions, more flaps isn't always better. So you need to be aware of that. In some cases, you could even you vouch for a no flap landing. You're going to float, but you could be ready for that. Usually about 10 degrees is a good sweet spot. I'm ready to turn base before you know it. Already cleared to land, 4-lane checklist, just verifying everything. Ending with me, good. 4-lane checklist complete. Flaps are where they're at.
Tower 515 Jet Mike is ready to taxi.
And call in Ocala Tower, you're on tower contact ground 121.4.
Looking good on base, a little bit high.
Ocala Tower C39 when it goes
no problem, kind of
9 miles
here in just a
southwest,
second.
we have India.
November 39 when echo Ocala
really
Tower,
tough to
report 2
manage
miles
airspeed in this
southwest for right
situation.
downwind, runway 18.
Mostly because how much is wind flowing through the pitot tube versus just the ram air really adds to it here. So it's a gusty crosswind land. If I'm landing 180, the winds are coming 220. This is the part where I'm going to get blown through. Notice I made my turn a little bit earlier than you probably would, but see how I'm getting blown right through? I'm looking good. Winds from my right, so I'm going to initiate. I don't know how well you can see on that camera, but I've got a little bit of a crab to my right. I'm tracking center line. Woo, there we go. I'm tracking center line. Now I'm left of center. Jeez, it's gusty. I'm tracking center, yet my nose is pointing towards like the VOR out there. Speed's good. I'm about 80, and I would rather be faster in this situation. This is not, see if I catch a big drop like that, not a situation I want to be slow. I'm already cleared to land. Now, I don't want to be going 90, but I didn't do a whole lot there. That's just the wind just playing with you. Slow it down, get it back together. There we go. That was not a pilot-induced 80 to 90. There we go. Now I'm losing a ton of speed thanks to the wind. Look at that drop. See how they caught that drop there? You just kind of ride the waves. Make sure you're tracking center line in. Tracking center line in. Now right around here, I need a transition to get that upwind wheel down. So I'm going to kick a little left rudder in, right aileron, like that, and just ride the wave. Eyes down that runway. Eyes down the runway. Hold it here. Ride the wave. Ride the wave. There goes the wave. Touch that upwind wheel down first. Woo! Followed by the downwind wheel, followed by the nose. Get your crosswind correction in there. And it is good to go.
And November 23 Mike Zulu, 180 when able, and right off on Alpha 3, safe parking.
Back to the T-hangers on 180 here for you at Alpha 3.
So what I didn't get to share with you in the cockpit, I want to share with you here in the studio. First off, you probably saw the controls and thinking I'm all over the place doing stuff, but you need to remember that when coming in like that, there's not a lot of air flowing over my ailerons and my control surfaces for that matter. So those are actually small inputs to get me to move the little bit that I needed to move. It's like if you practice slow flight, you know, the ailerons are just super sloppy. They're not doing a whole lot. The rudder still has some serious authority. A crosswind landing like that, a landing in general, is no different with that. So oddly enough, those were small movements, even though you're just like, Jason's losing it, he's all over the place. Those were small, tiny adjustments we were making through that. Now, something else I didn't get to share in the cockpit with you, I mean, coming in, the touchdown is one thing, upwind wheel, everything else. You heard me use the phrase, we're kind of riding the waves a little bit, and you are riding the waves a little bit in the wind, especially anytime you get a G on the METAR, gusting. Anytime you get that gust factor, you could have this perfect stabilized approach, then you catch a little bit of that gust, and you're back up again, you're starting over, and it could be even grounds for a go-around, depending kind of where you're at in that process. But we touch down the upwind wheel, we touch the downwind wheel, down the nose comes down, but that's not the end of it. I don't know if we can go back and show, I didn't exactly hold center line very well after touchdown. You've got to get that crosswind correction in there. And you can see I have that crosswind correction in there, and I'm still struggling to hold center line. Again, even on the ground, it's a matter of kind of riding those waves and working through all of that. So I can't wait to read your comments below this video on YouTube, on Facebook, on m0a.com. I hope you all just have an amazing week. If you're watching this the week it comes out, happy Thanksgiving to you all. Be sure to be a blessing to others all this week, and not just Thanksgiving week, how about every week for that matter. Have an amazing rest of your day, and most importantly, remember, a good pilot is always learning. Have a great day, everyone. We'll see you.